And we are live. How's it going, everybody? This is Robbie One Kenobi, and I'm bringing you a live WWE 2016 Royal Rumble review. Joining me for this review, this is a joint collaboration, is my good friend Brandon from the previous Royal Rumble predictions video. Brandon, go ahead and introduce yourself again.
Yeah, this is the Wrestling YouTube, the Gamerman16 on Twitter, _97 on Instagram. Follow me on all of those outlets, and I'm very excited to do this review, and overall, I really enjoyed the show.
Yeah, definitely, man. I said it for a few days, weeks leading into the Rumble. The show had potential to be good to great. Overall, I thought it was a great Royal Rumble pay-per-view. Every match pretty much delivered. The show was exciting. It was just a lot of fun to watch from beginning to end, you know, and I'm happy that this was the best Rumble pay-per-view, including the best Rumble match in recent years. So WWE really did something. They really stepped up their game, I believe, with this pay-per-view. Let's just hope that with future editions of Raw, we get good quality like this on the road to WrestleMania. But let's not waste any time and let's get right into the review. Real quick, there was a kickoff match, a fatal four-way tag team match to determine two extra spots in the Rumble match. It was Dudley Boys versus Darren Young and Damien Sandow. Yes, Damien Sandow returned versus The Ascension versus Mark Henry and Jack Swagger. I thought Dudley Boys were going to win it, but Mark Henry and Jack Swagger won it. Nothing special, but I feel like the ending was botched. What did you think?
I'm going to be honest with you right now. I did not watch the kickoff show. I usually never watch the kickoff show, but I did see the highlights of the match, and I did see that little botch, and it was pretty significant.
I don't. It felt like it's like Connor had enough room to break up the pinfall, and then it's like Mark Henry just splashes a guy and says, "Screw it, I'm gonna pin him." So yeah, I don't really care for kickoff matches that much. The main show, however, kicked off with Dean Ambrose defending the Intercontinental Championship against Kevin Owens in a last man standing match. And I think you even called it, Brandon, that this match should kick off the show. What an opener, man. I mean, just an insane fight to the finish with some sick spots. They got exactly 20 minutes, the perfect time they needed to put on a great match. Oh, my God, man. I was just like, I feel like Kevin Owens, even in defeat, reemerged as Fight Owens Fight, because there was a moment where like Dean Ambrose had a kendo stick and Kevin Owens looked like he was going to back off, and then he said, "Screw it." He went after him. But Kevin Owens really just went, I don't want to say ballistic, but he started getting really sadistic in this match. But you had some kendo stick spots. You had that cannonball through the barricade. I mean, these guys just put on a hell of an opener, and that crowd was heavily into it.
Yeah, this match was exactly what I expected going in. These two went out there and just beat the living hell out of each other. I love all the table spots, especially those sides from the top turnbuckle through the table. That was freaking insane. And yeah, there was some good usage of the kendo stick. Again, I like the cannonball through the barricade. And you know, both guys, they really worked hard here. There were a lot of good false finishes, near 10 counts, and the finish was absolutely sick with KO taking that bump through those two tables on the outside.
I'm going to be honest, I wanted him to get back up. I was like, oh, no, don't tell me it's going to end like this. But in the end, it was a great spot. I mean, these guys really busted their asses out there to put on a hell of an opener. It got the crowd really pumped. I mean, Kevin Owens, when he had Ambrose on those 4 chairs, I was like, oh my God, tell me he's going to do a moonsault. Like, I wanted to see the moonsault or the swanton bomb he does. But when he did that counter fisherman suplex driver through the table, I was marking out, because that is such a sick move how he does it. Great performance from both guys. In the end, Dean Ambrose retained the Intercontinental Championship with via that table spot. Match, well, it was at the beginning of the show, I called it match of the night, because I was thinking every other match was going to have a lot to live up to until we got to the main event. But that was a damn good match, a damn good fight. 4.5 stars from me. Down below in the description box, you'll see both my match ratings and Brandon's match ratings, as well as our overall show ratings. And there's also a link to his channel. Please go down and make sure to subscribe to his channel and like his videos. But yeah, great start to the show. Ambrose and Owens for the Intercontinental Championship. I could pretty much say this feud is done with, unless they want to go at it one more time at Fastlane, but I really don't see the point because Last Man Standing seemed like the fitting end to this feud. But once again, great performances from both guys. Great start to the show, and I feel like Kevin Owens is reemerging now as Fight Owens Fight, and that's who we need. We don't need Run Owens Run. We need Fight Owens Fight in the future. But kudos to both men. Great start to the show. Next we had...
Also, could I say one more thing about it?
Yeah.
For a second, I thought the match was over after KO hit that second pop-up powerbomb. I'm like, there's no way Dean is getting up from this, but he ended up doing so. But let's move on.
Yeah, no, well, if I can add one more thing, too. I was saying, Owens, what are you doing? Like, if he gets up, powerbomb him again. Do the same thing you did to Sami Zayn at NXT TakeOver Rival. Keep powerbombing the hell out of this guy until either he can't get up or the referee calls it over, But I'm not complaining about the finish. Great match. Just these guys, what else can we ask for? They gave us a hell of a fight, and we just applaud them for their efforts. Great match. Excuse me. Yeah, next match was the WWE Tag Team Championship match. The New Day defending against the Usos. Good tag team match. I did enjoy the pre-match promo that the New Day cut. They cut it very serious in the beginning. They were saying they wanted to have a moment of silence for Francesca. And then all of a sudden you hear a trombone in the back, and out comes Xavier Woods to this really nice pop with a new trombone, Francesca 2.0. Yeah, Francesca wasn't gonna stay off TV that long, and they even made a freaking T-shirt for the trombone on WWE Shop. So it was too good to be true. But I was happy to see Francesca 2.0. As far as the match goes, I thought it was good. Like we were saying, Brandon, this match we've seen it before on WWE television, so it wasn't anything special. It was still a good match. I enjoyed it. Xavier Woods teasing that he was going to play Francesca as the crowd was chanting, play Francesca, and then he just blew him off like, nah, I'm not going to do it. That's just great heel work from Xavier. He was a good performer in TNA, but I think he's a good mouthpiece for the New Day. He's just very funny outside the ring. Go back to TLC and watch him do the commentary with Michael Cole and JBL and them. That was just priceless.
Yeah, it was, and I actually thought the match started off kind of slow in the beginning, but I felt like the last, I want to say 4 or 5 minutes were really, really, really good. That's why I gave it 3.5 stars. These teams have fantastic chemistry together, and they definitely put on a tag match. There was a lot of back and forth. I actually thought after they hits on Kofi Kingston near the end, and then I thought Jay would hit the Superfly splash. But yeah, I just thought these two teams really worked hard and they gave a great effort. But then again, this should be the last time that these two teams should face off because they need more teams in that division. That's why I think you need to call up Enzo and Cass or somebody.
Yeah, definitely. You remember back in my predictions video, I said, once this is over with the Usos and the New Day, I want to see, just for the fun of it, because I want to see if WWE could really do something with this, the Wyatt family versus the New Day. It's something we've never seen. I think the New Day might get the sympathy of the fans, but the New Day, the Wyatt family is just, they're completely different. We're going to get to the Royal Rumble match later where they took control of that match for a while, but any combination of the Wyatt family, Harper and Strowman, Harper and Rowan, Bray and Strowman, Bray and Harper, would be quite a challenge for the New Day. I mean, this would be that feud where you say, okay, is this the time when the New Day finally gets what's coming to them, or are they going to be able to put the jokes, unicorn horns and everything aside, and can they actually beat this mountain of a team in the Wyatt family? Because the Wyatt family will mess with them mentally, and that's what I want to see. Does the New Day have a mental vulnerability? If they go up against something supernatural, paranormal like the Wyatt family, how do they rise to the occasion? Do they play their usual antics, or do they actually stand up and fight the Wyatt family? That's what I'd like to see. I don't know if WWE is going to do it, but, you know, like I said, if you want to do something big for Mania, you have the New Day. They're like Edge and Christian back in 2000. And then you have 3 other teams that were screwed over by them or, like, had up to here with them in their antics. They lay them out, and the match is made. Fatal 4-way TLC match at WrestleMania. Either the Dudley Boys get a WrestleMania moment, or the Wyatt family gets a WrestleMania moment, and that establishes them as the top team in the business.
Yes, indeed. I think we should move on to the third matchup, which was for the United States Championship, Kalisto versus Alberto Del Rio.
Well, you know what? Before I gotta just comment on the ending. Big E catching whichever it was and drilling him with the big ending that was incredible. And the Usos, I think the Usos showed a little bit of aggression in that match. Like, not saying they're turning heel, but I think it was cool because at one point, Kofi's on the outside, and then the other Uso just comes out of nowhere, pops him. So I thought that was cool. Good match overall, good back and forth action with a sick, clean finish. You know, Big E catching one of the Usos and drilling him. Good match. And like I said, I just want to see the New Day in a fresh feud now going into Mania. New Day versus Wyatt family is where I would go. We'll see from there. So Del Rio and Kalisto was the next match for the United States Championship, as Brandon was saying. I thought this was a great match. I enjoyed it. It had the right finish, the finish we wanted to see. And despite 1 or 2 botches, I still thought it was a great match. And I really enjoyed the pacing. And I was on the edge of my seat for this match because Kalisto, he just really was taking it to Del Rio. And they booked him properly as an underdog. They had great storytelling. And in the end, the underdog overcame the odds.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of Alberto Del Rio's matches with Rey Mysterio back in 2010 when he was first coming into the league. And it definitely had some similarities to that. And yeah, despite those 2 noticeable botches, I felt Kalisto definitely shined. I said on Twitter, Kalisto equals Ultimo Dragon 2.0. I really feel he has the potential to be that. And he definitely showed it here. You know, there was some very nice back and forth. Kalisto got to hit a little bit more offense than I thought he would in this match. Hit the Salida del Sol twice. He got the Salida del Sol one time for a near fall. And, you know, he was what ADR usually does. He countered his step-up Enziguri from the top turnbuckle, which I thought was very, very nice. And him winning the championship was definitely a great moment. And hopefully they'll actually keep the belt on him until Sin Cara comes back.
That I was going to say. So with how things played out at the Rumble, was it necessary to just take the title off Kalisto? Should Kalisto have won it here and have that moment to shine? Or, you know, do you think it was right that he won but then lost it the next night at the SmackDown taping only to get it back here? Do you think that was the proper way they should have done it?
No. I felt... You know, I understand you want to give Kalisto, like, the big moment on pay-per-view of winning. Really, just have Kalisto keep the belt until the Rumble and have Del Rio win it back. Or better yet, hell, just put the belt on Kalisto like you did on Raw. Have him beat Del Rio again. Yeah. And it'll definitely establish him. And, you know, I think this could open up some fresh feuds with Kalisto, because the one guy I would want to see him face, maybe set up a program for Fastlane or WrestleMania, is Neville. Exactly. Give Neville something to do, and I feel that those 2 could have really, really, really good matches against each other. Yeah,
definitely. Kalisto versus Neville is a great program you can do. You know, face versus face, maybe a best of 5 series. And then I don't know. Hey, maybe Neville wins the title at what's the pay-per-view at WrestleMania. and then he goes on to have a strong championship reign, and Kalisto from that, based on every strong performance he gives, he maybe moves on to the Intercontinental Championship and keeps moving up the ladder. Who knows? But yeah, Kalisto versus Neville you can do. Kalisto versus Tyler Breeze you could do. You have talent on the roster. You want to do fresh feuds, fresh matchups. You want to give Kalisto the best opposition you can, because the best champions are those champions who face the best opposition. They always, look at John Cena recently. He faced every challenge who came his way, face, heel, didn't matter. He's always defending that United States Championship. He brought a lot of prestige back to that United States Championship with his open challenges starting the night after WrestleMania 31. So Kalisto, he is Ultimate Dragon 2.0, like you say. I have always said that he could be the next big Rey Mysterio in terms of his popularity, his athleticism. WWE just do something with Kalisto. Make him a strong champion. Make him that he can identify with the kids, so to speak. The kids can have that that high flyer to look up to and want to be like, and want to put on the mask. So they have something with Kalisto. He could be that big lucha sensation for kids for kids all over the world. So do something with him, push him strong, put him against notable opposition, and just push him strong, build him strong like he deserves. But yeah, great effort from Kalisto, great match. And you know what I noticed was, in both the tag title match and the US title match, there was a false finish where the opponent was right next to the ropes. Happened in the New Day match, and it happened in Kalisto versus ADR. When Kalisto hit Salida del Sol, Del Rio was literally like an inch away from the rope, so all he had to do was just grab the rope with his arm. For Kofi, I think he put his foot under the bottom rope after the Usos hit him with a splash. Those were like so predictable to call, but that's all I really want to say, because they sort of had me on the edge, but I was like, dude, they're right next to the ropes. It's so easy to call. But great match. Happy for Kalisto. He's in his second reign now as United States champion. If they want to do one more match between him and Del Rio, I'd say do 2 out of 3 falls, so it's not just a standard match, and either have Kalisto win 2 straight, or have him win, have Del Rio take the first fall, and then Kalisto win both falls out of nowhere. And then you can do Kalisto and Neville, or Kalisto and Tyler Breeze, but give Kalisto a high-quality opponent for Mania. But I really like your idea of Neville, because they're just 2 awesome talents.
Indeed, and I kind of think if they do one more match at Fastlane, I like falls. I was thinking more of a ladder match. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, I remember I believe his name was TN Couponer, when we were doing the live predictions video, said do mask versus title in a ladder match at Mania, which that would be more that'd have more of a draw. But if you're gonna do a fatal 4-way TLC match at Mania, I don't know if it's necessary. Well, they did Money in the Bank with 2 ladder matches, so anything can happen. But yeah, well, yeah, I could see that, because that's a fit-in way for their feud to end, and then do Neville and Kalisto. Although I thought you would have said Kalisto and Neville in the ladder match. Like, that would have been insane. B? Okay. I just want to, this happened in our predictions video. We apologize again. I think Brandon may have lost his connection. Okay.
Hang on 1 second.
It's all good. It's all good. In the meantime, while Brandon takes care of that, I'm going to tweet this out, of course, to my followers.
All right, I'm back.
All good. Anything else you wanna say about that match, Brandon, or potential feuds for Kalisto?
Nope. I think I got all my thoughts out.
All right. I'm just tweeting this out to some Twitter followers right now.
All right.
All right. In the meantime, Brandon, I'm sorry to kill some time. Is there any plugs you want to do? Any upcoming projects?
Let's see. Well, I am going to do a Rumble review on my own. I'll probably film it either today or tomorrow. I'll have it up sometime this week. I'm going to show more of my video game collections. I'm gonna, I don't know what else. I'll probably think of some more projects to do, and I'll definitely update all about that on Twitter.
Definitely, definitely. Like I said, guys, make sure to go check out Brandon's channel. I have the link down below in the description box, along with our match ratings and show ratings. He does great gameplay videos. I like first got into his channel when he was doing like Tony Hawk and SmackDown 2. Was SmackDown 2 called Know Your Role?
Yeah.
Yeah. He did. I remember this from a long time ago. He recreated Triple H and Cactus Jack inside Hell in a Cell, and he even did the He even did JR's last call where I think JR was like, kick out Cactus, kick out Cactus.
Kick out Cactus, kick out Cactus.
So yeah, definitely go check out his channel and definitely keep supporting my channel as well. Okay, so next match was the Divas Championship. Charlotte with her Hall of Fame father, Ric Flair, defending against Becky Lynch. Okay, this was good. This match had good build. I thought it was a good match. I didn't think it was great. I thought it could have been a little better. But what I am going to say is I did like how in the beginning you got to see Charlotte demonstrate her technical superiority over Becky. She was more of the superior technical wrestler in the match. Overall, it was a good match. Crowd was heavily behind, strongly behind Becky Lynch. I really liked the ending. The ending is where it picked up, and they were going back and forth. Becky was hitting her offense, exploder suplexes and leg drops. Ric Flair's interference, the way he interfered and cost Becky the match, I kind of like had a problem with it. Yes, I know Ric Flair is there. He's going to be getting involved in Charlotte's matches, so you need someone to neutralize Ric Flair. I just felt maybe they could have done a better ending. I mean, he threw his coat over Becky Lynch. Becky could have easily took that coat off and thrown it right back at him or slapped him or something, but that allowed Charlotte to get an eye poke in. And then she, I believe, she speared Becky for the 1-2-3. It could have been a better finish, but it was a good match overall. Ric Flair kissing Becky Lynch, though. People were saying, isn't that like sexual harassment or something? That's Ric Flair being Ric Flair, you know. What did you think overall of the match?
I was looking forward to this. Was my the second match I was most looking forward to on this whole card. I thought it was good, more in terms of like tough. I mean, I think one spot that would have been good in this match is have Charlotte actually lock in the figure 8 and have Becky reach the ropes or something like that. I just wish they could have done more in terms of their submission holds and stuff like that. And I really was not a fan of the finish either. I thought Flair throwing in the jacket while Becky had Charlotte in the disarmor was stupid, and then really the second spear I thought just came out of nowhere. I thought Becky would kick out and she didn't, and after that finish I'm just like, okay, but there was something else that happened.
Yes. Okay, so Charlotte's celebrating, and she's putting the boots to Becky Lynch when Sasha Banks' music hit and that crowd popped. And I know I've done that Vince McMahon impression saying, you know, you want Sasha, I'll give you Sasha on the pre-show. No, tonight or last night, they gave us Sasha how we needed to have Sasha. So Sasha comes out and she's staring down Charlotte. And at first I'm thinking, are they going to go, or are we going to see a BFFs reunion? Because they were part of the BFFs on NXT back in the day. Charlotte attacks, like shortly or briefly attacks Becky, kicks her out of the ring, and then it looks like we're gonna get a BFFs reunion. And you know, Ric Flair's leaving, Charlotte's about to leave, Sasha's right behind, like, you know, I'll be there. And then Sasha hits a backstabber, rolls over, transitions into the bank statement, and that crowd just went crazy. And Ric Flair didn't even do a damn thing. He's just standing outside. But WWE finally made Sasha Banks relevant, and they gave us the Sasha Banks we deserve. So now it looks like we're going to get Sasha Banks and Charlotte. The stage is being set. The seeds are being planted for Sasha versus Charlotte at WrestleMania 32. I'm excited for that. That's what we deserve. Now, it might happen at Fastlane, and then we might get a triple threat between Charlotte, Sasha, and Becky, which is great for all three of them because they did come up together to the main roster. But I think the big draw would be Sasha versus Charlotte. And if that's what happens, Sasha needs someone in her corner to neutralize Ric Flair. And of course, Snoop Dogg is her cousin. That'd be great to see. Or maybe Sasha brings in someone else we don't expect. I mean, that was a great moment for Sasha. I loved it. I even said it on Twitter that that's how you give a Sasha, making her, as she makes a statement like a boss. That was just awesome. Brandon, I was going to tweet it to you, but I just want to know your thoughts. What did you think of that moment? Brandon? All right, like I said, guys. All right, we might have lost connection again. If that's the case, like I said, it
was going absolutely. Oh man. And Vince somehow is interfering with us again. But
come on, Vince.
Sasha coming back was absolutely amazing, and it appears that she's recovered from her undisclosed injury.
Yeah.
And as soon as she finished putting on the bank statement, I said Sasha Charlotte WrestleMania. It's going to be fantastic. Have Sasha win the title. In the next night on Raw, trash that stupid butterfly belt and bring back the women's championship.
Yes. Doing a Lunger Blaze, trash the Divas Championship, and bring back the women's championship. Or if you want to still call it the Divas Championship, give it a new look. Give it something new instead of that butterfly emblem. I think it's time that the Divas Championship is eliminated, is erased, and we get a women's championship. Or if you want to call it Divas Championship, make it more relevant. Give it a more appealing look. Make it look, I don't know how to say it, but give it a more appealing look instead of that butterfly.
More professional look.
Yeah, a more professional look, exactly. Give it a more professional look, a more serious look for the Divas division, and you're set. But great return for Sasha Banks. Thank you, WWE, for doing that. Now keep it going strong. Keep giving us a Sasha we should have gotten in the beginning of this Divas Revolution. And now the question is this the end of Team Bad? Or is that going to lead to Naomi versus Sasha at the following pay-per-view if Sasha wins the championship? Because I know you asked that on I think you asked that on Twitter, right?
I did. I said, so is Team Bad unofficially broken up?
Yeah.
I think so.
Well, you know what they could do is she could still be part of Team Bad but not come out with them as much. And then maybe Team Bad helps neutralize Ric Flair. And then the next night when Sasha celebrates her championship win, they turn on her. Because she's just like The Rock when Rock was in Nation of Domination. And I think I said this to you before, but Sasha's the most popular member of that group. And when you look at The Rock, he was the most popular of the Nation, although Farouk was the leader. And that was leading to a lot of tension between the group. And then when Rock eventually kicked Farouk out, Rock became the top man in that faction, and he became one of the most popular heels. He was a heel, and the fans still loved him. So that's pretty much what you have. So you can go with that. You can do Sasha versus Naomi at Extreme Rules, or maybe Sasha versus Naomi and Tamina in a handicap match, and then do maybe Sasha and Naomi in what's the May pay-per-view is Payback, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Payback could be Sasha Naomi, and then I'm doing fancy booking right here. Anything can happen when it's live. But then in June, you could do Sasha and Becky. Becky can build herself back up to a title shot, and it can go Sasha can win by a hair or by that much, or it can go to a draw. Maybe do a 2 out of 3 falls rematch, a 30-minute time limit match the next month, and then in August, you do the Brooklyn rematch that I said could be big money for SummerSlam. Sasha Bayley 3 for the Divas Championship, Women's Championship, whatever it is, and then have Bayley win it or have Sasha beat her, and Sasha just goes on a roll as longest reigning Divas Women's Champ, whatever.
Yeah, and that.
Okay, hold on. All right, I'm gonna get Brandon will be back soon. But like I was saying, that'd be great. Sasha versus Bailey 3 at SummerSlam in Brooklyn would be huge. I'll probably make a video about that later in the summer, but it depends on if Bailey wants to be called up to the main roster. And I can make a whole other video about why certain people shouldn't be called up to the main roster. Not taking away from the one guy that made his debut on the main roster, or two, depending on what happens later tonight. But yeah, Brandon, I sort of lost your feed. What were you saying after I was talking about Sasha Bailey 3, because your feed started to break up. So you were in the middle of saying something, and then I lost a connection.
Yeah, I said that another video of ours is going to be all about Sasha Bailey 3 if that ever happens.
Yeah, well, that's like I was saying. While you were regaining connection, we'll make a video on that. Why it could be a major money match for SummerSlam in Brooklyn. I mean, for those of you that have been following the sport for the past few years, you know why, but we'll still make a video about why I think that could be a major money match for SummerSlam. And another thing, this year's SummerSlam, just keep it at 3 hours. 4 hours was too long. And
overkill.
Certain matches just didn't deliver. But SummerSlam, that's another video. You know, we're here talking about Royal Rumble. And that leads us to the big one, the main event. The Royal Rumble match. 30 men, one champion. It was one versus all with the WWE World Heavyweight Championship on the line. Of course, Roman Reigns was the #1 entrant in this match. #2 was Rusev, which was very interesting because these were the two guys that ended the Royal Rumble match last year. They ended last year's Rumble match at 1 as the final two. I thought this Rumble match be delivered. It was just awesome. It was exciting. It had me on the edge of my seat. So let's just get right into it. So Roman and Rusev are the first two. I was happy to see Lana. She wasn't at ringside though, which sucked. Rusev only lasted, I think, a minute. I think he only lasted a minute in that match. And then at #3 came the big debut everybody was hoping for. So Roman, I'm gonna paint the picture for those of you who didn't see, because I do this a lot in my reviews. So Roman is in the ring. The countdown is on. Clock hits 0. Then this like church organ music hits, and he's looking up, and then you hear this loud, insane pop, and that's when you knew he arrived. And out walked AJ Styles at #3. And Brandon, I popped when this guy walked out. It was just an insane feeling. He got an insane pop from the crowd. What was your reaction when he came out? Brandon is frozen, not frozen in fear, but he's frozen in excitement over AJ Styles. I think I just got him to mark out again. But yeah, guys, when AJ Styles came out, I marked out, and I wish someone would have recorded my reaction. I didn't have my camera with me to do a live reactions video. I just really, really wish someone would have recorded my reaction when AJ came out. He got an insane pop from the crowd. All right, Brandon. Like I was saying, what was your reaction? What was that moment like when you saw AJ come out?
So I was kind of puzzled. I'm like, well, whose music is this? It was like, and then the look on Roman's face and the pop from the crowd. And when Michael Cole said, "Could it be?" I jumped out of my seat like, yeah! AJ is finally here!
Michael Cole, I like how he delivered it. He's like, is it? Could it be? And then he's like, the phenomenal one is here. And I was like, I love it. He did a great job calling it. You know, people were saying, oh, if it was JR would have been like, by God, it's AJ Styles. And, you know, there's only one JR. We love JR. But I love how Michael Cole did it. He said the phenomenal one is here. He could have been like, oh, my God, it's AJ Styles. But the way he did it was great. I love when he said the phenomenal one is here. JBL bringing up that he was an IWGP champion. I mean, Roman's, yeah, the look on Roman's face, Roman wasn't scared, but Roman was like, oh, man, you're the real deal. I know I'm in for a fight now. Like, that was just great. And then AJ, I was happy that he lasted almost 30 minutes. My only complaint, and this is just a small thing, I wish he would have gotten in more offense. He got in offense, but I just wish he would have gotten in a little more offense in that match. I mean, he did the kick, his little Pele kick, which was awesome. He was doing flying lariats. He gave a strong performance in that match. I just wanted a little more offense from him. That's it.
Yeah, me too. And I really wanted him to hit the style splash at some point, but he didn't. And he got eliminated a little earlier than I thought he would. But for him, the last one, that ring was freaking awesome. And I hope he gets a match at Fastlane.
Yeah,
and hopefully we see him on Raw.
He's probably gonna be on Raw tonight. Yeah, he did get eliminated by Kevin Owens, which I was like, oh, but then I was like, okay, you know what? It's Kevin Owens. And you see how Kevin Owens is like, welcome to the WWE, AJ Styles. I was like, I'm calling it right now. It's Kevin Owens and AJ Styles at WrestleMania. That's a dream match for me, even though they've actually competed before in the Indies. And you know, he lasted almost 30 minutes. That's a great way for him to to come into the WWE, make a splash. He was eliminated by Owens. Thank God it was not by Big Show or Kane doing like last year when they were just throwing the young guys out left and right. AJ, you know, got to see AJ go at it with Jericho for a little bit because that's a dream match of mine that I've wanted to see for years. AJ and Y2J. I mean, the way AJ and Kevin Owens just went throwing fists at each other was awesome. But it wasn't all the AJ Styles show. Yes, that was the hot topic of the whole Royal Rumble, but there were other guys who made an impact in the Royal Rumble. Case in point, Braun Strowman. Strowman comes into the match like the monster we figured he was going to be, and he throws 3 big men out. The Big Show, which the way he did it was great. He freaking threw Kane over the top rope, and with the help of the Wyatt family, he eliminated Mark Henry. So Braun Strowman really looked strong like a monster in this match, and I have no complaints with how he was eliminated because he was eliminated by one beast, and that was Brock Lesnar. Brock was knocking guys down left and right. And I mean, the way he kept going at Strowman, that was awesome. What'd you think?
Yeah, the Wyatts taking control for half the match I thought was really, really nice to see. And when they eliminated Brock, needless to say, I was disappointed by that. And to be honest with you, to Brock Lesnar versus Bray Wyatt. Back to something else in the match. Sami Zayn.
Yeah. Sami Zayn
coming out and eliminated Kevin Owens.
That was awesome. Sami
eliminated Kevin Owens, and I think KO. Go ahead.
No, what were we gonna say? You were in the middle of something. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think they're gonna do Kevin Owens and AJ Styles at Fastlane. And yeah. I still think that they'll do KO and Zayn at WrestleMania somehow.
Yeah. AJ Styles deserves a high-profile match at WrestleMania. He better not be thrown in that Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. To me, if he's thrown in that Battle Royal, they have already dropped the ball with him, and he's only been there for 2 months. He needs a high-profile match. So I don't know if they do a true. Well, see, storyline-wise, it calls for Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn in like a street fight, I quit match, some match where they can really just beat each other up and just, you know, do like Ambrose and Owens did. But now, see, that's what I'm concerned for AJ Styles. If they do Owens and Zayn, where does AJ go? I mean, do you bring back Money in the Bank and you do a 6-man or 8-man match and have AJ be in that match and win it? AJ needs a strong first match at WrestleMania. So Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, scratch that off the list. If he's thrown in that match, that's fucking stupid. You know, that is just ridiculous. That better not happen. But speaking of Money in the Bank, R-Truth coming into the match with a ladder, thinking it was Money in the Bank or thinking it was a ladder match for the title. That was just It was stupid, but it was funny. It was like stupid kind of humor, you know. And I was just I was waiting for him to say, you know, my bad, but nope. Kane just dumped him out like seconds later. So, yep, R-Truth came in for pretty much a cup of coffee for that match, but that was fun. Sami Zayn, great way for him to enter the. I don't know if he's going to be on the main roster now, but that was great to see him in the Rumble match. Kevin Owens' look, the look on Kevin Owens' face was priceless, because that's exactly what I predicted it would be like. Yeah. And then you know, they only went at it for about a couple minutes, but seeing Zayn eliminate Owens was great. It's fitting for the storyline. And this is not a complaint. This is just something I think would have been cool. I think Owens should have came back and like assaulted Sami Zayn, maybe give him a couple pop-up power bombs, and then that could have allowed like the Wyatt family to eliminate him, and that keeps the storyline going. But either way, I mean, they have something good going. Shout out to my friend Amos, who just wrote a comment. He just said what's up to us. But yeah, I loved it seeing Sami Zayn, and Sami lasted a good like 7-8 minutes, I think 9 at the most. Yeah.
Yeah, so, and those 9 minutes were definitely good for him.
Definitely. Like you said, the Stone Cold 96, you know, push. Give them a good 9-10 minutes to just show off what they can do, and from there, you know, you have something going. So I'm happy Sami Zayn had a good show in the Rumble. Jericho at 45 going almost 50 minutes. Wow, man. Kudos to Chris Jericho. I mean, I think this is his best Rumble showing ever, even though I would love to see him win a Rumble. I wanted to see him win a Rumble for years, and I thought 2012 would have been the year. But kudos to Jericho for lasting as long as he did. And I think with the way that Ambrose eliminated him, we're going to get Jericho and Ambrose for the Intercontinental Championship.
I would definitely like to see that, and it just shows that Jericho can still go, man. He's 45,
yeah.
But man, he's in fantastic shape. I still think he can pull a great match out of Dean Ambrose at WrestleMania if they do so happen to face each other.
Yeah.
You know, over the last couple of years, Chris Jericho has had really good Rumble performances. In 2012, he was in the final 2 with Sheamus. In 2013, he was in the final 6. Here, he definitely went a lot longer than I expected him to.
Yeah, that was awesome. Kudos to Jericho. You know, that was great. This Rumble match overall, guys, just really delivered. I mean, the star power, AJ's debut, Sami Zayn's debut. You know, you had Jericho in it for like 50 minutes. The Wyatt family proved their dominance. Brock Lesnar went out there, took people to Suplex City. And honestly, when he got eliminated, I thought he was going to come back and just destroy the whole ring. Everyone, I thought he was going to get a suplex or an F5. This Rumble match just really delivered. After 2 really bad Rumble matches past couple years, this Rumble match just really had it. You know, I think doing it for the championship was the right move. I think every once in a blue moon you should do that when it matters in the storyline. But yeah, I just really enjoyed this match from start to finish. You know, I was still shaking after AJ came out because I marked out so hard when he arrived. Even when Tyler Breeze came out, I was just like, hey, it's Tyler Breeze, but I'm still trying to, you know, I'm still like in shock that AJ Styles is in the match. I'm marking out. It was just, you know, it was a great Rumble match from beginning to end. And then at number 30, the one consensus draw that a lot of us had in mind, Triple H returned, and Roman looked like he saw a ghost. Roman wasn't scared, but that was great. And then he's like saying, oh, you want to get in my ring? You want to get in my ring? Like, I loved it. Roman didn't look weak. He looked like a badass. Triple H went out there just like the freaking badass he is. He's the cerebral assassin. And they went at it. I mean, they just went at it. It was great. They were one up in one another too. I remember Triple H to pedigree on Ziggler. Roman Spears, I think it was Bray. And then they go at it, which is awesome. And they did Royal Rumble 99 all over again with the League of Nations attacking Roman, Mr. McMahon leading the charge, which to me, I think they did it a little better only because they put Roman through a table. And if you remember at Royal Rumble 99, it was just Test and Boss Man and Shamrock just pounding Austin. It wasn't like they threw him through a bathroom stall or they threw him through the wall or something. They just pounded him for like a minute, and that was it. And, you know, nothing, not taking anything away from Austin because he's the toughest SOB ever. But I think they did it a little more realistically with Roman going through a table. Yeah, he walked out on his own. He didn't get on the gurney. But other than that, I mean, the Rumble match was great. You know, freaking Miz didn't even enter until Brock Lesnar left. And he was like mouthing off at Brock Lesnar like, I'll make Suplex City. I'll turn it into Disney World, the happiest place on earth. That was just like, that was cool. That was funny. And then he's like, oh, it's time, you know, tell the director action. It's time to take action. Yeah, when Brock Lesnar's gone, you decide to take action. But the Rumble match was just fun, exciting, great 60 whatever minutes of action. And, you know, it came down to Triple H and Dean Ambrose. Roman Reigns got dumped by Triple H. And Triple H, the way he was telling him to suck it was great because that crowd just went insane for Triple H. And it came down to Ambrose and Roman, not Ambrose and Roman, Ambrose and Triple H, which I was marking out for because I didn't expect it was going to happen that way. I thought Triple H would be the last one, like Roman would be the last guy eliminated. But that was just great to see him go at it for like 2 minutes. And in the end, Triple H eliminates Dean Ambrose to become a 14-time world champion. Triple H is going into WrestleMania as the champion, guys. But I have to say one more thing. Triple H and Bray Wyatt, that was a great face-off. And then I was calling it from the beginning every time it came down to AJ and Roman, I said they're going to be the final two. It has to be those two in the final two. And then AJ got eliminated, and later Triple H came out. Great end into the Rumble. It had me on the edge of my seat. So just kudos to WWE. They finally got it right. They learned from the past 2 years, and Triple H is the champion. And it capped off an awesome Royal Rumble match. What are your final thoughts on that match, Brandon?
I thought it was really fun. I really enjoyed it from beginning to end, really. I thought that they paced it great. It didn't really have many surprises as opposed to years past, other than just AJ Styles. But, you know, I was just happy at the fact that they were mainly focused on using the talent they have and making some stars look competitive. You know, Chris Jericho, part-time guy, lasted over 50 minutes. Brock Lesnar, he was really doing well. Even Bray Wyatt at times was doing well. Just everyone I felt got a pretty nice rub in this match, and the ending was absolutely amazing. With Triple H winning the Rumble, him and Dean Ambrose, the final two, they went at it for a few minutes, which I really liked. I think on Triple H one time, and Triple H eliminates Ambrose, and he's the new WWE champion. It was pretty surreal to see the COO of the company win one more championship, and he'll most likely go to WrestleMania as the champion, and I have no problem with that. And can't wait to see what goes on Raw.
I have no problem overall with that finish because it makes sense. You know, if Roman had won this whole thing, that's John Cena 2.0, and you don't want that. And yes, the fans were booing him. It's unfortunate they were booing him, but, you know, they didn't want him to win. Hopefully Roman doesn't lose his fan base. Hopefully they can still push him as the new face, that he'll be more accepted going into WrestleMania 32 as the challenger second time around. But if they did John Cena 2.0, Roman would have gotten even more backlash than last year. So I'm happy they did that. It ended the way it did. It ended with you know what? If it had ended with anybody else in Triple H, like if it was Triple H and Dolph Ziggler, you knew Triple H was going to beat him. Triple H and Ambrose, that was good for Ambrose because there were the fans who wanted Ambrose to win the championship. So you didn't really know if Triple H was going to win or if Ambrose was going to pull this victory out of nowhere. Great ending. That's what we want to see with WWE. Make us, leave us on the edge of our seat. Oh my God, what's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? Because when you look back at last year's Rumble, there was talent in there that just was getting eliminated. Adam Rose didn't last long. Jack Swagger didn't last long. You knew he wasn't going to win. Cesaro, fans wanted to see him win or have a strong performance. He didn't last long. this year, I just have to really give kudos to WWE. They learned from the past 2 years. They gave us a great Rumble. They gave us great, showings from a few of the talent, especially Jericho. AJ did his thing for about 30 minutes. Brock went in like a beast. This Rumble just had it. This is undoubtedly the best Royal Rumble match in recent years. It won't. There will never be a Royal Rumble that surpasses 1992 because 1992 was a once in a lifetime thing, so to speak. A new champion would be crowned, and Ric Flair set the record. But this Rumble is just great. I can't stop praising it. It was just a great match, and I just hope from here, and for the rest of 2016, that WWE keeps giving us real good to great pay-per-views. And keep giving us good to, every show, every episode of Raw doesn't have to be great, but give us enough good on it so that we want to watch next week and see where the storylines and feuds go. But like I said, I got to give props to WWE. They delivered an awesome Royal Rumble show from start to finish. Overall, I'm giving it 8.75 out of 10. Brandon, what are you giving it overall?
I overall gave it a 7.75 out of 10. You just had 5 matches that were at least somewhat good. You had one great match on the card, the Last Man Standing match, and overall the Royal Rumble was just so much fun. It was just so above the last couple of years. It was definitely just very refreshing to see a good Royal Rumble match, just from beginning to end. There was just really nothing to dislike about it. Triple H winning the title, I thought was great. I had no problem with that at all. And overall, I've had the most fun watching a WWE show since Hell in a Cell. First time since Hell in a Cell, I've had fun watching a show.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I just thought, this was Night of Champions come early. Every title was defended on this show, which I thought was great. It gave the champions a chance to shine. It gave the challengers a chance to shine. And this show planted a lot of seeds for WrestleMania 32. Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn, or Kevin Owens versus AJ Styles, whichever they want to do. Sasha versus Charlotte. Triple H versus Roman. Potentially Jericho versus Ambrose. You're looking at Brock versus Bray Wyatt. So that's 5 matches right there that you have for WrestleMania 32. And if this is supposed to be the biggest WrestleMania of all time, they need to really deliver a hell of a show. I honestly, like I said, after the Last Man Standing match, I said everyone else has a tough act to follow. I didn't know if any other match was going to be on that level of the Last Man Standing match, but then the Royal Rumble match really delivered. Every match got time that it needed. I was just eager for the Rumble match to start because I wanted it to go as long as it had to go. And they kept promoting WWE Network programming and Chex Mix, and I'm like, I know they have to do this, but can we just get to the Rumble match? Because I want to see who's going to be in it. And I agree with you. I was disappointed by the lack of surprise entrance other than AJ Styles. I wanted Undertaker. I threw out Goldberg, which I never mentioned in our predictions video, but I wanted to just see if Goldberg came in and went after Kevin Owens or Brock Lesnar again. No Jeff Hardy, but he's still with TNA. But yeah, other than that, I loved the show from start to finish. It just delivered. Great Rumble. And now we're on the road to Fastlane, but the road to WrestleMania continues with Fastlane as our next pay-per-view stop. So that's pretty much it, guys, for our live review of Royal Rumble 2016. Like I said, our match ratings and show ratings are down below in the description box. Brandon, did you get a chance to check out the WWE 24 show on WrestleMania 31?
No, but I will be watching it on demand sometime soon.
Yeah, that was a real good show. I love the WWE 24 backstage series. It just brought back a lot of great memories of WrestleMania. It made me want to go back to WrestleMania 31 in Levi Stadium, and just to see Sting take in the moment of being in the WWE and Paige enjoying her first WrestleMania moment was great to see. I thought the show was great too. So you're definitely going to be you're definitely going to enjoy it when you check it out. So there are rumors that a major star is returning to Raw tonight. I don't know who, but it might be The Undertaker. It might be Goldberg. It might be someone else we don't expect. I don't know. You're just going to have to watch Raw, wait and see. Brandon, overall, do you have any other thoughts you want to share about the Royal Rumble or any thoughts going in as we start the road to WrestleMania?
Well, keep in mind that tonight's Raw is going to be in Miami, and 3 years or almost 4 years ago, rather, the Raw after Mania in Miami had Brock Lesnar return.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be the second time that Miami will get a really big star to come back. I don't know who it's going to be.
Yeah.
Maybe some NXT guys might be on the show tonight, which I'm looking forward to. We'll see what happens. I think it's going to be a good Raw tonight.
Yeah, definitely. I have to work tonight, but I have Hulu. I'll definitely be watching it tomorrow in the afternoon. I'm going to stay away from spoilers. I'm going to stay away from text because this is, after a show like Royal Rumble, these are the kind of Raw episodes you want to watch because what's going to happen? Is a major star going to show up? Is a major feud gonna kick off? What's going to happen? See, that's all we want from WWE. Keep us interested in the show. Keep us interested in the product. You'll get good ratings, and you'll get positive feedback. It's all about just giving the fans a great product. I've said it before. That's all we want. Speaking of a great show, Lucha Underground comes back this Wednesday. I don't know, Brandon, if you've watched any of it before, but are you excited for season 2?
I am. I was watching some of the marathon over the weekend, and I actually have the all night long match recorded on my DVR, which I'm going to watch.
Yeah,
with
definitely.
Johnny Mundo.
Yeah, you know, on the show, Dario Cueto was saying, like, this is a match that's never been seen before, but it's an Iron Man match. I mean, we know what an Iron Man match is, basically. I know character-wise he was trying to build it like a big thing in this temple because in the temple they do first like a ladder match, a last man standing match. But it was still a great match. You know, WWE, I would like to see if NXT could do something like that. An Iron Man match that just goes the whole show. The only time they ever really did that was Benoit and Triple H in 2004, if you remember. It was on an episode of Raw. And that's when Eugene screwed Triple H. So that's something I like to see. But definitely, Lucha Underground Season 2 is going to be awesome. Rey Mysterio is going to be in it. He was featured at the end of the trailer. I'm just looking forward to seeing how the stories from the first season continue this season. It's just going to be great. You know, Justin Gabriel is going to be there as PJ Black. There's going to be some new female talent joining Lucha Underground. And I'm just looking forward to what the season has to offer because with the way the first season ended, there's so many storylines that can continue. You have did you end up watching toward the end of the season or how far did you get?
I got to pretty much like the middle of it. I didn't see what happened toward the end. It's toward the end of the season.
Okay, yeah, cause there's a faction that like won all the gold at the end of the season, and it's just like when Evolution won all the gold in 2003. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they run Lucha Underground now. Like that's all I'm gonna say because I don't want to like spoil it for you. But I'm definitely looking forward to season 2. Maybe if you're interested, we could do like a show review one night. We'll just review the whole 1 hour show. But it's gonna be great. I'm looking forward to seeing what Lucha Underground has to offer. Brandon, is there anything else you want to say about wrestling in general on the show?
I'm just hoping for a good year out of WWE in 2016. I really feel that it could have the potential to be a really spectacular year, both of you. You're going to have pretty much everybody come back from injury. You might have some NXT guys get called up, and I think with all that, we're going to have ourselves a really good 2016, and the Royal Rumble started that.
Yeah, that's all I'm hoping for is that WWE has a much better year than they did last year. They did deliver some great matches and pay-per-views throughout the year, but most of the time on Raw, the show was just not great. NXT really did its thing. It broke, it broke barriers, so to speak. NXT had a groundbreaking year last year, and I can only imagine what NXT is going to do this year. And you know what? There's one more thing I want to bring up. What are your thoughts on NXT's newest signee who debuted Friday night at the special live taping, A-Double himself, Austin Aries?
It's about time for him to come into the WWE. You know, I've been watching him for years and years and years in Ring of Honor and TNA, and he's such a great talent.
Yeah.
For him to not be in WWE sooner is absolutely criminal, but it's better late than never, and I think he's going to really, really shine in NXT. And for those who didn't know, he actually did the voice of Jacob Cass in WWE 12.
Who's Jacob Cass?
He's the in the Road to WrestleMania, he's the created superstar you have to create in the hero storyline.
Oh yeah, see, 'cause I never.
That's the name they gave them.
I never played 12. 12 just didn't look good. 13 is when I started getting more back into playing like the wrestling games, and then with 2K14 and so forth, I got back into playing the games. Like I played 13 for a little bit. It was the first time I ever played it, so I wasn't the best. But when I played 2K14, that's when I started getting back into the wrestling games. We still have a 2K16 review to do. I know the game has been out since October, but this is something Brandon and I have really wanted to do, and I think next week we're going to finally do it. Just give you guys our thoughts on the game and probably predict what we want to see or what we think is going to be in 2K17. So definitely look out for that. We'll do a 2K16 review and a 2K17 preview/prediction. That's going to be fun. Austin Aries, my thoughts, because I didn't get to make a video. I saw the video. That was a great pop he got. I'm looking forward to seeing what he brings to NXT. You know, I never really watched a lot of his work in TNA, but I know he's been in ROH. He's been a former ROH champion. He brings a lot to the game. So I'm excited. You know, once again, WWE bringing in the best talent to NXT, and I can only imagine how Dixie Carter's feeling right now, that a lot of her top talent, young top talent, is going to the major competition right now.
Yeah, well, sorry. Well, too bad for Dixie, because TNA absolutely sucks.
Yeah. You know, when with Bischoff coming to WWE like years after, or 1 year after WCW went out of business, do you think, I mean, this is crazy, but do you think if she gets desperate, Dixie Carter may try to join WWE? If yeah.
When TNA, absolutely. She's such a desperate little crybaby. She'll do whatever she can to earn money. She knows her company is dying. Of course she'll try to go to WWE. There's no question about it.
I'm telling you this right now. If WWE gets the Hardy Boys back for a part-time deal, so to speak, and they get the Wolves, done. TNA is done. If they get the Wolves, the Hardys, and if they manage to get EC3 and they repackage him properly like they should have done when he was with NXT originally, done. TNA will die right there. It's yes, it's over, unfortunately. It's unfortunate, but if you can't rise to the occasion and you can't give the TNA fans a good product, you're doomed. And when you have talent like Samoa Joe, AJ Styles going to the main competitor, the big leagues, you're screwed pretty much. So I'll say it one more time. If the Hardys, EC3, the Wolves, and who's the other really good young talent that TNA has? Brandon? That awkward silence, ladies and gentlemen. But I'll say it again. They get the Hardys, they get EC3, they get the Wolves. Done. TNA is dead. And it's going to be unfortunate.
All right, I'm back, I think.
All right, yeah. So since we're talking about TNA, let me talk to you about this. Do you think there could be a possible Global Force Wrestling or WWE NXT joint collaboration sometime in the future? The burning question, I know.
So WWE and NXT Force Wrestling and TNA?
Yeah, could you see like in the future WWE and NXT wanting to do a special a special show, cross-branded show with Global Force Wrestling? Could you see them working out a deal to do something like that? Well, if that does happen, I'll just give you my thoughts right now while Brandon, while the connection reestablishes again. I think that'd be cool because, you know, Jeff Jarrett's got some good young talent. Like, well, he's got some experienced talent like Shelton Benjamin, Chris Masters, PJ Black. I forgot who they have a women's champion there too. I forgot who that is. But that'd be cool. You know, never say never. WWE and NXT especially is doing big things, so that'd be an incredible. Well, I don't know if I want to say incredible, but that'd be a real cool business venture right there. I want to give Brandon a chance to get back before we sign off, of course. If Amos is still watching, thank you for giving me your match ratings for Royal Rumble. Owens and Ambrose, 3 3/4. He didn't see the New Day versus Usos match. Kalisto and Del Rio, 2 3/4. Becky and Charlotte, 2 1/4 Royal Rumble match, 3 1/2. All right. No comments on Twitter. Nothing else. Nothing else.
I'm back.
Okay,
again.
Cool. Okay, all good, man. So yeah, let me ask you this question real quick before we sign off. With the business that WWE and NXT have been doing lately, could you see them potentially reaching out to Global Force and wanting to do like a special cross-branded show with them?
As I said before, my connection went dead. I would say no. It would be really nice. I've dreamed about it several times, but I honestly don't think that Vince would have the grapefruits to do that.
What about if Triple H was in charge?
If Triple H was in charge, then yeah, I mean he's the one that goes everywhere to scout talent, and I think he would be the one to do it. He's definitely less stubborn than Vince is, and I think he would probably do it.
Yeah, he was at Evolve.
He was.
And he's probably scouting Timothy Thatcher, who's a real good, hard-hitting wrestler. I saw him live once in the Bay Area. So if Thatcher comes to NXT, man, I mean, there's no doubt that NXT and WWE are the 2 major brands. Yes, NXT is part of WWE, but it stands alone as its own brand. There's no doubt that WWE is the company, the dominant wrestling company. I mean, they're getting the best talent. That's everybody's dream to wrestle on the grandest stage. AJ Styles, he looked a little emotional as he was coming out to his entrance because I bet he was just overwhelmed by the pop he got from the crowd. I mean, he was performing in front of a major WWE audience, and they gave him an amazing hero's welcome. I mean, he deserved it. So yeah, I mean, I still love WWE. Yes, they have made mistakes in the past. They made dumb decisions, but they do still get like the best talent, and I'm just hoping this could be a year where they just, you know, they have a standout knockout year, and NXT continues to knock it out the park with their shows. Brandon, any final thoughts before we sign off?
Yeah, like I do like the fact that WWE is like, you know, scouting wrestlers from like pretty much everywhere, like in the indies and all that stuff. The problem with that defense is though, the indies are dying out because of that. And I love watching independent wrestling, but to see all these guys leave the independent scene and go to WWE, it's great, but at the same time, it's bittersweet.
Yeah, I understand how you feel because independent wrestlers, they really bust their ass to make a living and to just put on great matches. I know because I've been to indie shows before, and it is unfortunate that the indie companies lose some of their best talent. So it's like I don't want to say a double-edged sword, but it's bittersweet because the indies do lose their best talents, but those talents get a chance to shine on the big stage like WWE. So it is bittersweet, but in the end, I just want the best for professional wrestling, not just WWE, but every organization. And TNA, yeah, I really can't like offer sympathy to the company. I mean, it's just, it is what it is. How many times has this company avoided death and closure? I mean, eventually it's going to happen, and it's unfortunate, but what can you say? So with that said, guys, not trying to end this on a somber note or anything, but that is our live review of Royal Rumble 2016, plus some, you know, other little wrestling news thrown out there. Of course, I'm Robbie1 Kenobi. Thank you always for watching. Please like and subscribe and comment down below. Follow me on Twitter, Robbie1 Kenobi, just like it's spelled here on my Twitter, on my YouTube channel, excuse me. Again, thank you, Brandon, for joining me on this. Brandon, go ahead, tell them where they can find you.
Yeah, guys, follow me on Twitter at thegamerman16. Subscribe to me on YouTube, the Wrestling Fan 16, and follow me on Instagram _BDeJesus1997. Thanks, Robbie. Had a fun time.
Exactly. I love doing these live streams with my friends. Thank you all for joining me. So keep your eyes open, guys. Brandon and I do want to do a WWE 2K16 review and also preview to K17. You know, tell you what we think will be in the game, what we want to see in the game, DLC, all that good stuff. And yeah, just keep supporting our channels. Support us on social media. And like, comment, subscribe, leave your comments, match ratings down below, and everybody have a good day. And until next time, until next video, to quote Xavier Woods, keep it tight. And we might, you know what? Maybe we should do an up, up, down, down video. Like maybe we should just talk about our favorite moments and episodes and what we like to see.
Yeah, that definitely sounds good.
Yeah, all right. So that's it, guys. Gamer Man, Robbie One Kenobi signing out. Thank you all for watching, and have a good day. See you all later.